Why do people want a killer God so badly? So I posted recently about how I think that God was not the one who killed Ananias and Sapphira, that they died on their own due to guilt or something like that, due to their consciences, and got lots of comments, was basically ratioed by people saying like, nope, it was definitely God. God killed in the Old Testament. God killed Ananias and Sapphira. God kills people who don't take communion worthily. You're a heretic for thinking that God did not kill them. And I think this is absolutely fascinating that we think that being biblical or being good Christians means that we have to believe in a killing God. What that shows to me is that people don't take Jesus particularly seriously. Jesus is meant to be how Christians define what God is like. And we're supposed to look at Jesus and understand that when we look at Jesus, we're looking at God. Jesus says that he only does what he sees the Father doing. So I don't see Jesus killing anybody. In fact, I see Jesus berating his disciples when they suggest that they should call down fire on disobedient or unfaithful people. Jesus is like, no, that's not how we're going to act. Jesus does not call down legions of angels to defend himself. Jesus does not lift a hand to strike or hurt or harm or kill anybody, which means that if Jesus doesn't do that, God doesn't do that, which means that whenever we look at the Bible and we see depictions of God as violent or murderous or impulsive or lacking self-control, we're looking at a human's misunderstanding of what God is like. And we don't fully know what God is like until we look at Jesus. So when I get to Acts 5 and I see Ananias and Sapphira fall down dead, and the text specifically does not say that God was the one that killed them, you have to commit eisegesis. You have to read into the text to assume that it was God who did the killing. I want to take Jesus seriously. In order to have a faith worth believing in, I need to take Jesus seriously and therefore believe that God is not a killing God. If Jesus did not strike or harm anyone, then God isn't going to either.